Hi, this is Ian and I am going to show you another one of those multi-use type things, knots. So I'm going to show you in large scale first. What it is called a simple whipping. And whippings are normally used to finish off the ends of rope, stop them fraying. But this particular one can be used for all sorts of things, like handles, wrapping up handles for things. Bows, handles, axe handles, any kind of handles, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to show you in large scale first with broom handle and a bit of paracord, because if I show you the small scale stuff on a bit of rope with whipping twine is quite thin and it'll just, you won't see what the heck's going on. So if I do it large scale first and then I'll show you the application with the rope. So the idea with this is, first off, we create a bite and lay the bite along whatever that we are going to be making the handle from, or whatever we're going to be wrapping really. And then the idea is to wrap the rest of your cord. Now the first couple of wraps are a bit tricky because you're having to trap it over, but if you've got your short end and your working end, if you put your working end over the top of your short end and then a couple of wraps in, it'll all hold itself in place and you can just go for it now. So all I'm going to do is just wrap the thing, keeping my loops a bit light, a bit not overly tight, but neat is more the order of the day. Not loose, but not mega tight, but definitely neat. And you just keep going and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. Now if you're just working off a reel, then you'll keep going until you're as far up as you need to be. I've got just my limited bit of paracord here, so I'm going to finish there. Now you can see this loop here, which is the other end of our bite, and this is the loose end of the bite. And if I pull that, you'll see that that loop at the top gets smaller, and that's the trick to this particular knot or whipping. Because what I'm going to do is to get our working end, and I'm going to pull that through the loop at the top. Now if I pull, eventually it becomes tight up against the top of that. Now obviously that can slip there, so to make it even tighter, what we do is we carry on pulling. We carry on pulling until the loop, you can just see the top of the loop there, is pulled into all the wrappings. So you'll see that just disappear down into the wrapping. Right, so what we've got now is our wrapped handle, if you like. It's now quite firm and tight, because as we've pulled everything tight, it's pulled everything in around the coils, and the actual end is pulled into about here on this. You want to try and get it to about the middle point of it, and that's what we have. And then, you know, trim off as much as you need to do it, and seal it in, and that's pretty much how it is. It's dead easy. So you start with a bite, wrap around the bite all the way up, pass your working end through the loop at the end of the bite, and then grab hold of the other end of the bite that should be poking out the bottom, pull it in until you pull your working end all the way into the middle of the wraps that you've been doing, the turns. So that's it in large scale, and you can use that for, you know, wrapping bow handles up, for making a nice, more comfortable, grippy sort of thing for an axe handle or a saw, or all sorts really. If you want to just make something that's just a little bit more wrapped, there you go. You can even wrap it around if you're, I was looking at my daughter's bike handles the other day, and they look a bit worn and rugged from the rubber just going away through use. A bit of nice coloured paracord, especially this stuff. You can see this, it's actually got little reflective parts in it, so you know, using this kind of paracord, wrap it around the handles where the rubbers come away, and give us some nice reflective handles to replace the old rubber ones, or over the top of the rubber ones. But anyway, dead easy to do. Now I'll show you that on a bit of rope to show you how it works as a whipping. So the idea of a whipping, here's one I did earlier, or yeah, still with the raggedy ends and stuff. But the idea of a whipping is just to finish off the end of a rope. So you've got a nice finish that will stop it fraying, and obviously these ends can just be got rid of. Now what they say with whippings is that you should be looking for, you get the diameter of the rope that you've got, you should be looking for about 2 to 3 times the diameter of the rope in length down the end of the length of the whipping should be about 2 to 3 diameters of the rope. So to do this, go to the unfinished end. Obviously it's horrible nylon rope that we've melted at the ends to finish off, but we can make a nice sort of finishing off. And also it's really good if you've got sort of set lengths of rope, especially if you're doing any kind of pioneering and you've got some set lengths that are designed for particular poles, lashings, whatever. Then you can get different coloured whipping twine, and you could do the different lengths using different colours, so everyone knows where they are. Anyway, so idea is exactly the same as we did before. I'm going to tuck that there so that it will come off as we need it. So I want my whipping to actually come so from about there to the top, just underneath the top. So I'm just going to lay that just off the end there. So I'm doing exactly the same as I did before, it's just a little bit fiddlier because it's using a thinner material. So from there I am just going to, if it will behave and do what it's meant to, I'm just going to wrap over the top. Actually what I'll do is I'll put the twine up there, and so it's away from the end. There we go. So I'm going to come over, I've got to trap this so that it's easier to work with. So I'm just going to start by coming over the top there and just holding it for a bit. Actually started a little bit too far down there. Let's go up to about there, that'll do. And it's exactly the same, and it's just a case as before of keeping it neat as you're going, keeping your turns right next to each other, and all nice and neat and dead easy, and as we go all the way up and tight as you go. And then once we've got to the end of it, this stuff is made of some man-made material, nylon or something similar, but in any case it works well to just put a little bit of flame on it so that it will burn, and it will also seal itself as you go. So we've got our loop at the top here. We're going to pass our finished end through that loop, if it will behave. There we go, finished end through the loop, and then same as we did with the other one, grab the other same, so we've got our loop disappearing inside the finished whipping, and that is it. All done, other than, you know, we can trim off the ends again, a bit of flame to it and it will just come away. Burn that end off as well. There you go. And the other good thing about this stuff is as well as being able to do this and just, you know, seal and trim the thing at the same time, what you can do is just get a flame underneath it, not too far, but if you get a flame underneath it and just rotate it over, just stroke it, just stroke it, just stroke it, stroke it, stroke it, stroke it, and then wait until it's cooled down a little bit so you don't fry your fingers, and then just turn it on itself. Then, you know, it's obviously now stuck to itself, has gone very kind of rock hard as it's melted into itself, and that will give you very much a permanent whipping. So that's just a really basic simple whipping. This is generally what it's used for. It's just finishing off the frayed ropes, but in a larger scale, a bit of paracord or rope or leather cord or anything else you want to do, those are exactly the same things, just using different materials on a larger scale. And yeah, it's actually a really useful, simple thing to be able to throw together. There you go, common or simple whipping.